Samantha from Jessima Tutorials here, and today I'm going to show you how to create a cute pair of earrings with the polka dot method using a silicone mold. Now this is the first half of the earrings that I've already made, so you can see what we're going to be trying to make. So I'm just going to pop those to the side, and for this you're going to want a silicone mold. Any silicone mold that you want will work. This is the one that I'm using. It is my modern earring combo set. There will be a link in the description below. But again, any silicone mold will work. Just make sure that it's one that you can bake in the oven. Now, I have Cernit metallics over here. This is rose gold, turquoise gold, and champagne. And these will all run out on the thinnest setting of my pasta machine. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those and I'll just go pop them on a ceramic tile because I want them to stick to the surface that I'm going to be cutting them out on. And what I'm working on right now is kind of a matte metallic or a matte plastic sheet because it cuts down the glare on the video, but it doesn't really work very well for when you want something to stick. So just pop them onto a ceramic tile and give them a quick burnish just to get it stuck on there, like so. And this is a glazed ceramic tile. You could also use a glass tile. And there we go. Then grab two small circle cutters. I'm going to be using these micro circle cutters. And you're just going to use those. Actually, I'm just going to be using the one size, so ignore this one. But I'm just going to use this size. I'm going to take that and I'm going to use that to cut out tiny little discs of clay, like so. And there we go. That should just about do. Then just lift up the clay and those little discs should stick down and stay on the tile while you lift up the clay. There we go. Okay, and there we go. Then just going to bring over that mold and just position it like so. And I'm going to use a little silicone tool to pick up these if I can. I don't really want them to stick because I want them to stick in the mold preferably. I'm going to take that and I'm going to pop them in there. And this can be a little finicky, but just get them picked up and then place them down inside the mold. Okay, and then once you've got them positioned in just about the spot that you would like them to be, then grab some pearl white Cernit, and you want it to be as soft as you can get it. If you can mix a clay softener in with it, that is something I would highly recommend, just to get it as soft as possible. It just makes this part much easier. But you're going to just take that, place that right inside, and then press down like so. I need a little more, and I try to add less clay than I need because then I don't need to shave it off the top, and that just makes things a lot easier. There we go. Then what you're going to do is you're going to really make sure to press that, and I like to use just a baby wipe to prevent my fingers from sticking, and I'll really make sure that that is good and stuck in the mold. And a good way to see that, if you've got a translucent mold, is you should be able to see from the back how it looks. So just check that out, make sure there's no air bubbles. I can see that that isn't quite these gold pieces have an outline around them. So I'm going to go and I'm going to actually press while looking to make sure that I'm getting it. Okay, and then once I'm happy, flip it back over and just reposition that clay. Make sure that it's in the right spot. You can use a roller to just flatten that out, and you could leave it exactly like that, or you could use a texture stamp. I'm going to be using this little monstera leaf texture stamp, and I'm going to take that, position that over the top, and just give it a good press. And this way you can texture the back so that you have a earring that has both a nice front and a nice back. Okay, and I've done the other two. And now if you've already done a pair, one of the pairs of earrings, just make sure that you have a look at that and match it so that the dots are in the correct place for your other pair, because you want both earrings to match each other. And then again, as before, you would pop the pearl white in, press it in, and texture the backs. And for this one over here, it can be a little tricky. Don't just pop a lump of clay in there, because then you'll have to shave and that can make it a little awkward. Instead, roll out a log of clay and press that together so that it forms kind of a donut. And from there, then pop your clay in, and that way you'll have the hole already kind of made and ready to go. And then that ends up with less distortion in terms of the little discs that you've got in there, and just makes it generally easier. Also, quick thing, you might be wondering why I don't just roll out a piece of clay and pop the little discs on there and then cut out the pieces. It would definitely be less fiddly, and that bit is true, but this technique with the mould means that you end up with zero waste clay. So it depends on which one you would prefer. So you could absolutely do this with a pair of cutters. It does not need to be done with a mould, but you are going to end up with some waste. And just shave away that extra clay, but in general that will be much easier. I put too much clay in, so that's why I had to shave away some. And there we go. Once you've got those all done and dusted and you're happy with them, then you're going to actually pop this into the oven for a full hour at Burroughs recommended temperature. Make sure that the mould that you're using can go in the oven, but generally it's okay to put silicone in the oven. Just again double check. And the reason for this is so that we don't end up with any distortion on our pieces. Like this one especially is a little bit of a finicky shape and can distort when you try to demold it, especially considering that the Cernit that was used was very soft. So baking it inside the mould can completely prevent that, and we'll end up with a much cleaner finish. So yeah, pop that into the oven, and I'm going to show you how to make these using a pair of cutters. Okay, and for this I would recommend working on a piece of paper. And this is the pearl white. It's been rolled out on the middle setting of my pasta machine, about a millimetre thick. And I'm just going to give this a burnish. And the reason I'm saying to work on a piece of paper is because I don't want to pick the pieces up and I want them to bake on the paper. And also by smoothing it out and working on the paper, the backs of the pieces will have a matte finish, because I won't be able to texture the back. Then the process is much the same. The only difference is I'm going to be using different shaped cutters. So this is the cutter I'm going to use. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark out where I want to cut the earrings out, because I want to minimize the amount of waste that I have. So just pop those down, marking out the piece. Then bring over these little guys and just lay them out the way that you would like them. So I'm just going to grab that and I'm going to place one at the top there. And the nice thing is it will be a lot less finicky. And I'm not worried about them distorting because I don't really want them to be perfectly circular. If I wanted that, then I would actually bake these before popping them down. But that I can show in another video. I can show how to make mosaics. But just pop them down, and everything you do on the one, you would mirror on the other piece. And there we go. Then take that and give it a good old burnish, flattening all those discs down. And because the base clay is very soft, they should just burnish right in there with little to no problem. Also, another thing is that your cutters are not going to give you the same domed effect that the cabochon mould would. So if you want a domed effect on your earrings, then go with the cabochon mould. If you wanted more of a flat effect, then go with the cutters. And these are all things to take into account when you're making your polymer clay pieces. But there we go. That's how it looks. And what I actually am going to do is I'm going to texture it. And I'm going to use this texture stamp. It's just a very light fur texture stamp. Not sure how well that's coming up on the camera, but yeah, just a nice basic texture stamp. Something like sandpaper texture will work as well. But basically, you're just going to take that and individually go over each earring, press down, up, and make sure that they're all going in the same direction when you're doing this, because you don't want it to you don't want them all going in separate directions. But yeah, you're just going to take that and you're going to texture the earrings. And this is optional. If you don't want to do this, you don't have to. But I thought that it would look nice. Here we go. And I'm sorry for the camera there, it went a little funky with the brightness, but hopefully you can see there how it looks. But yeah, now you're going to take those and you're going to cut them out. And just position it just about in the right spot. And press down. And it shouldn't stick in the cutter because we did burnish that quite thoroughly onto the paper. And grab the other cutter and position that and cut. And there we go. And there. And we shouldn't actually end up with any waste with this one because I positioned the little mosaic pieces in the correct spot. So you can do it without ending up with any waste because this is all clean, so you can use that again in a different project. But yeah, it's going to look different though, so it depends on whether you want the domed finish or the flat finish. You could also think about combining them as well. Maybe you want the top piece to be domed or the flat, well, the bottom piece is flat. That's all something to keep in mind. But this is also going to go into the oven for a full hour at Primo's recommended temperature. And actually, come to think of it, this is Cernit. Put it in at Cernit's recommended temperature. Sorry, I'm so used to using Primo. But anyway, pop that into the oven for an hour and then we can see how both the pieces came out. Okay, and here is everything out of the oven. This will be hot when it comes out, so just give it some time to cool. But once it's cool, you should be able to just pop those right out. No distortion, no mess, no nothing. And also they should be left with the finish that is on the mould. In this case, quite a nice high gloss finish. So if that's the case, you don't need to sand them. But yeah, so those are the two earring sets. They're going to be assembled differently. I'm going to assemble these ones first because they're going to be nice and simple with just jump rings. Okay, and for that you're just going to want a pin drill with a nice small drill bit. And I'm actually going to drill from the back side because these dots generally make me line up the hole incorrectly because I haven't centered them perfectly, and so I generally will drill from the back if the pattern's gonna trip me up a little so that I can center the hole. Then drill through. Just be careful not to poke yourself. Go. And I actually did center that quite well. But there we go. And that's one hole drilled. These ones you'll drill one at the top and the bottom and repeat with that one. Okay, and then the next step is quite simple. You're just going to grab jump rings, and I already have some open jump rings, and I'm going to use a larger one for the bottom piece because I need to link two pieces of polymer clay together. And you're just going to pop that jump ring through, attach it to the other piece of clay. This is a little fiddly. There we go. Once you've got that, close it up again, like so. Okay, and then I have a smaller jump ring to connect the ear wire. You can use the same size jump rings across the piece if you want to. But yeah, just simple as well. Pop that through, slip your ear wire on, and close it up. And then you would repeat that process for the other earring. And that's how I would assemble those. And the other ones are going to be a little different. I'm going to use a eye pin to attach those, so they're going to be a little different. There we go. That one took a little bit. But there we go. That's how it should look. Okay, and for these earrings, I've already done two of the little head pin pieces, and well, they're eye pins actually, and this is what that looks like. And all you do is you can apply these to the clay when it's raw if you want to, but I find that it distorts it, so I prefer to screw them in after the clay is baked. I'll just press them in where I want them to be and then just twist. And you can glue them in as well if you want it to be extra secure, but generally I find that this works pretty well just as it is. And there we go, that's how you would pop them in. Then to attach everything, you can either attach it through jump rings or you can open up these loops like so and attach. And then close that loop back up again. Okay, and I open this one up as well because I need to attach the ear wire. And this is the one that I'm going to use. Just pop that on. And then close up the loop again. And that's pretty much it for these ones. You could also use them as cabochons as well. They don't have to be linked together like this. There's lots of ways that you can use the molds. But that's how I put together those earrings. And then for the semicircle donuts, I actually just kept them as they were and attached little head pins to those. And well, you saw how we did these ones. So yeah, 3 pairs of earrings. And so yeah, let me know what you thought in the comments below. Will you try out this polka dot technique? I think it looks quite nice, especially if you do it in metallics. It looks quite nice that way. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you have questions, leave them there as well, and I will answer them as soon as possible. And please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel, as I do videos like this almost every single day, and that really just helps support the channel more than you know. So please do consider leaving a like. And again, thank you for watching the video. If you'd like to support the channel, please do consider checking out my Etsy store, where I sell the molds and the cutters and other polymer clay related tools. And again, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.